And welcome to the Breakfast Blend with Mac and Morgan. I'm Mac.
And I'm Morgan.
Games, news, coffee. Today, of course, a little more of the coffee because I'm just not with it. Alright, so, the news today. A hacker group claims to have defeated the WiiU copy protection, and they are now able to play pirated versions of the entire WiiU software library. Nintendo's official response was, yeah, and which of those three games are you going to play first? Disney claims that their upcoming Infinity game is in no way similar to the soulless wallet rape fest that is Skylanders Adventure. Except for the cartoonish presentation, content that is inaccessible without a physical portal that reads information from real-world figurines, and also a relentless urge to manipulate children and convince them that the only way to enjoy the game is through the endless purchase of patented merchandise. Other than that, they're completely different. This week, Activision released a teaser trailer that appears to confirm rumors that another installment of the Call of Duty franchise will be hitting shelves this year. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick stated that despite Black Ops 2 providing a massive amount of his $60 million salary last year, they're really just doing this one for the fans. Nintendo is now selling refurbished 3DSs and DS XLIs with a one-year warranty for considerably less than what GameStop charges for the same service. When asked to comment on how this impacted Nintendo's relationship with GameStop, President Iwata was heard to say, fuck those guys. Alright, going into the hacker group thing. Apparently these hackers are the same people that broke the Wii. So now they went after the Wii U. Nintendo says, well, we're looking into it. Which means, yeah, they did. And I mean, I guess maybe you would lie about having hacked it just to say that you're awesome, maybe. But are you really? I mean, who would brag about cracking a Nintendo console?
Yeah,
like,
who cares?
Really, in the end,
have at it.
I mean, like that's not really. I don't see that putting a badge on anybody's chest.
No.
That, oh yeah,
No.
we cracked that Nintendo, man.
Yeah.
Next week, the world. Like, so I do think though, just hacking in general. I mean, I don't care if you hack and like monkey around in a system and you learn how to do things and whatnot, but in order to make it so that you can play pirated games, man, this could be a long conversation if we talk about piracy in my perspective.
We'll be here all day.
Oh, we'll save that for another day. Let's move on to Disney. Okay. So, like as we said in the news, it's the same. It really is. Okay, it's the same as Skylanders. Mm-hmm. Everything is a rip of the marketing aspect. Of course it's different from Skylanders because it doesn't have fucking Spyro or all the other shit that they made up for that. So you have a bunch of Disney figures. And there's the playground concept where you get the toy chest, I think they call it, which is the little Big Planet thing. Mm-hmm. Where that you can build your own levels.
Right.
So it's like, it's not like Skylanders. We didn't rip them off. We ripped off Little Big Planet. Fuck you. So.
Did they mention that? Or
no.
They left them totally out of the story.
I don't know. I like the idea. I only like the idea in small bites. Like I would want to play that game for like the Pirates of the Caribbean or for that element of it. I'm not such a big fan of Toy Story. Like I like the movies and all, but I don't feel the need to live in that world
or play a game.
Excuse me, no, that's not my thing. Yeah, I mean, Monsters Inc. was neat. You start giving me like Aladdin, some of the movies from when I was a kid that were Disney that I loved. Sure, I don't need Little Mermaid. Way too many sex jokes and weird shit went down with that in our lifetime. Now, you make a game like that has fucking Star Wars or DC Universe or Marvel, well, shit, yeah. Then you got me, and you will own my wallet for the next year, because I will buy every one of those fucking things, plug it into the stand, and be like, all right, what's Green Lantern doing today?
Yeah.
Would love that. But Disney, I don't care. So they can steal from whoever they want. It's still...
Yeah.
What does it matter? Why would you even comment? We all know that it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Why even bring it up? Move the fuck on. They're probably still... Disney's like, really? We're not evil. I know that we bought everything from George Lucas and then killed it.
Yeah.
But, we're not bad. Activision, though. Call of Duty. How do you feel? Another one coming out. 12 months later.
Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming. I mean, they push this shit so much.
It's only been, what, 6-7 months?
It was November when Black Ops 2 came out, I think.
So, yeah,
was it November?
I think so. Yeah, it was. You're right. Right at the beginning of November. Yeah. So we're almost to the 7-month mark. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, people are still going strong on that.
We're still getting fresh content.
Yeah.
You know, and...
I mean, I get that you want to... Okay, not everybody buys the DLC. Mm-hmm. I mean, shit, some people don't even play it.
Right.
Myself. But I get that is a way to ensure a fresh start where everybody has the same stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, from that perspective, I like it. But I really think... I don't know how... I think this is going to implode eventually.
Oh, it has to.
Because we got this, and then we got Battlefield, and Battlefield's coming out this year. Mm-hmm. That'll be my thing. I'll be on Battlefield. And then, then they tried to do Medal of Honor shit, which, I mean, admittedly, that's Battlefield, that's EA. But, like, Call of Duty, like, they had just, prior to that, did the Modern Warfare 3.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's too much going on. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, well, maybe that'll work out, and maybe finally people will just mellow out and just take their little niche games instead of everybody has to play just the one.
Right.
I don't know. It's too much for me, though, dude. Every year, buying 1 to 2 of these types of games, I don't have the time to invest to play them the way that they're meant to be played.
And they're no different from the previous one. I mean, they're not changing it enough to...
Right. I will say, even though, again, haven't played it, you described it, and my kids play it. The new Call of Duty, I did like that concept of the point system. Mm-hmm. So because finally, I don't have to have one of those useless perk slots that I don't want. Cool idea. Wasn't enough to make me give up on Battlefield and come back into Call of Duty. But maybe they can do something different. But in the end, it's really just running around shooting dudes.
Right.
So it's as fun as it's going to be. Like, that's it. It's not really going to get much better.
Right.
You might make some... their theater mode, they clearly took that up a notch a bit, with the being able to post it online and run your own commentary. I mean, that's got to be cool for some kids.
Yeah, you can share it on Twitch, YouTube.
Yeah, like I looked at that, and they apparently you can not just record your game, but you can then go back in, view it, lay down a commentary track, and then send it up. I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. I don't know though if it it doesn't record any audio of anybody else speaking, so I guess that. Unless, I don't even know. Maybe does it record you talking? I don't know. I've never done it.
I guess if you're on your mic while you're playing.
Yeah, so it would just record you, though.
Yeah.
It wouldn't record anyone else talking. Because that would be pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Also, it would be very cool to actually be able to go back in and associate specific players with the awful shit they say.
Yeah.
And then have
a little arrow
incontrovertible proof. Hey, I don't talk like that. Really? Are you sure? Because we have a video that we're going to send to your mom. Mm-hmm. That would change the tone real quick.
You'll be in timeout.
The Nintendo selling refurbished consoles. I actually kind of want to do that. I don't have a 3DS. Mm-hmm. I like the idea, but I played it. I tried them in the store, and I have never been one of those people that like gets motion sick from watching first-person shooters, nor have I ever suffered an epileptic seizure from flashing screens. Though I will say that every time I have ever played the opening to the Battlefield game, Battlefield 3, when it comes up, I really feel like I'm about to start.
Yeah.
It is nothing but this strobing, flashing shit that I hate. I'm like, seriously? And I play it in a dark room at night, usually, because I'm hanging out with some friends, and we try and do it when everyone else has gone to bed so that we're not taking time away from our loved ones while we kill other people's loved ones.
Yes. Well, and the sound effects add to it as well. The explosions, the flashing lights.
But that whole opening sequence where it's just introducing EA and Battlefield, it is god-awful. I don't know who approved that and who thought it was a good idea to just have a bunch of white images just strobing at you. Yeah. And it's awful. But the point is, I've never suffered from any of those maladies that have been physically, that are associated with any kind of game playing. Mm-hmm. But the 3DS did it to me. I played the 3DS at a place and was, you had to stay at a certain distance from it because it's sending a different image to each eye. Mm-hmm. And I got a headache after playing for like 10 minutes. And I knew, I almost never get headaches, so I knew right there. I was like, holy crap, that really did do that to me. And I'd heard that as a complaint. So that, I mean, I know you can turn it off or dial it down, depending. I didn't expect that to happen to me, though, which made me shy away from the 3DS. But a refurbished one with a 1-year warranty.
At a price drop, you would do it?
I would. You know, I wouldn't get the... You don't have any handheld game systems, do you?
No.
I have the DS. I don't see a purpose to the DS XLI, which is just the super large one.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know that handheld gaming system we have? Well, now we have it in laptop size. Really? That is of no interest to me. I do like, though, I am fully supportive of this. One, because it's Nintendo and they are a hardware manufacturer. They should be doing this. But also, I'm with the joke. Fuck GameStop.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, what else are they going to do with these systems anyways?
Everyone should be doing this. Everyone should be reselling their used copies of things for like that. Wouldn't that be awesome if there was like some like green group that gathered up all the used games and you could go to them and they actually sent them to the individual publishers, you know, and then when you bought them, like those publishers guaranteed them and whatnot, or they sent new codes. So yes, you're buying it used, but it's official.
Right.
And then undercut games because then they actually sell it. Because what is... Seriously, you buy a used game now within 3 months of it coming out and you get $5 off. Who thinks that's a deal?
Yeah.
Who does that? I would never in a million years would I buy a used copy for $5 less than the price of a new one. Now, when it's the $20 to $30 less, well, yeah, then I jump in.
Right, so do I. I'm all over that.
But $5, trust me, being able to unwrap a brand new one, worth the $5.
Yeah.
So
that comes with a 1 year. Is it 1 year warranty?
1 year warranty for those consoles. The 3DS, it's got a couple games that I'm really interested in, like the Fire Emblem, Kid Icarus. I mean, everybody loves the Zelda thing, but I have Zelda in that particular Zelda. I have like 3 different versions of it. Some on the what was that? The GameCube.
Yeah.
I got like these special special versions that you got if you bought a special GameCube. And since I bought the GameCube like 3 fucking times because I either threw it away or it got stolen or whatnot, I have every one of those. And I really, much as I loved Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, once was honestly enough for me. I don't need to go back through it. It was, you know, because the puzzles are already solved. Yeah. You know what you gotta do, and then you're just running through it. And it wasn't that attractive. Yeah, it looks better on the 3DS. Great, so there's some high-res graphics.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I got more shit to do. So anyway, that's it for that news. I do have a little a side thing here. This is kind of a follow-up to last week's. The president of Nintendo, when he was talking, where we mocked him for his discussion of what is making games difficult to sell. His follow-up is that he believes that consoles are struggling in the software area because it's too much of the same thing. Things, he says, that they get oversaturated and it kind of... What is that? What would be a good way of saying that? It dilutes the pool of what's available. Now, Nintendo is probably the single... I would say Nintendo is more responsible for that concept than probably any other single developer.
Absolutely.
Those guys just pump out a bunch of the same shit over and over again. However, he does make a good point with that, but then he follows that up by saying that and this is actually interesting, that from one generation to the next, the improvements made to games and what they're able to do are becoming less and less obvious to the consumer. You know, because now it's like better artificial intelligence, you know, larger maps and things like that. Yeah. And these are things that kind of often are under the hood and honestly aren't things that a lot of casual people, you know, I don't want to say casual gamers in the sense that they don't play games, but people who don't sit and consider and contemplate gaming as a reality. They just play a game.
Yeah.
They don't really care. They're just like, can I kill him? Yeah. Can I kill him before he kills me? Okay, let's go. Yeah, sure, we don't want all the bad guys to just stand around, you know, kill the guy next to him, and he's just like, doom-da-doo. Hey, look at that. Are you tired? What's it? Oh! You know, we don't want that every time, but... Nah, I just don't... I see that he makes a strong point, but maybe the larger point should be, maybe we're not trying. Maybe the community isn't trying to find a way to make it obvious that the next generation has occurred. Like, maybe better graphics and a larger map isn't the direction. Maybe we're refining and polishing an area that's it's enough. Mm-hmm. How about maybe we focus on something else that can be expanded that wasn't possible in the previous generation. I don't know what that is. I mean, this is all philosophical. Maybe someone else has it out there, or maybe you can't. Maybe that can't be done because gamers are accustomed to a certain thing, and something that far afield isn't going to draw an audience initially, and no one wants to take that risk. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Well, with the next generation, how they pretty much focused on the social aspect. I haven't done a lot of research, but how much have they put into the graphics? Do you know?
The only thing I ever saw that I actually bothered to read was that Hideo Kojima, the guy that did Metal Gear, they had the Fox engine, apparently. And honestly, I care so little about Metal Gear. It may have been used, it probably was used for that recent Metal Gear game that came out already in this generation. Mm-hmm. But I remember them talking about it and how they were showing images of photographs that they took of a location, and then the game engine of them recreating it. You couldn't tell the difference. And they were talking about how that's the next level. And then there's like sleeping dogs.
Uh-huh.
Is that right? Is that maybe? I don't think that's right. Watch Dogs.
Yeah, Watch Dogs.
Sorry. I'm playing Sleeping Dogs.
Gotcha.
I own that. It's a good game. Watch Dogs, they just announced that last night. Mm-hmm. They put out a trailer. And that's like, we're only able to do this on next-gen titles, systems, because it's so... Okay, so it looks real. I don't care, honestly. I don't play a game because I want to play a movie. I watch a movie because I want to watch a movie. I play a game because I want to play a game. Right. If it looks good, that's... Yes, I don't want it to be ugly, but, I still enjoy Super Nintendo style graphics. Mm-hmm. I like, retro graphics.
Yeah, jumping back a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. And you know what? I go back in. Yeah, I'll play, like... the old Grand Theft Autos, not the original top-downs, but like Grand Theft Auto 3 forward. Yeah, they're kind of ugly in comparison, but it's still fun. I still like to go into those places and do that thing. I don't really care that much about that. I don't need more photorealism. Make the game more fun. Mm-hmm. Use the technology to make the environments truly destructible. Yeah. How about that? Let me actually impact the world, literally. Create a group. Like, that's the one failing I've found with these games, is you walk into an environment that's populated with NPCs, and there's like 5 dudes walking around. It never feels like you're in a bustling city at all. Even in Sleeping Dogs, which I love, dude, it's supposed to be fucking Hong Kong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's nobody on the streets.
Millions and millions of people.
You can't move walking through Hong Kong. And I'm just like wandering around. Dude, I can't find anybody. Where's my buddy? It's just empty streets, Yeah, here's something that should never happen in Hong Kong. I actually have trouble finding vehicles to jack. Okay? That would never really happen. And that's my point. Like, we do that. The Hitman game I'm playing, Absolution, they do a good job of actually avoiding that. They have levels when they're supposed to be populated. They're
populated.
Yeah, except that the levels are like 30 feet wide.
Yeah.
So of course now they have the resources available to the system that they can populate it with 300 people in this little space. But you know what? Looks great. It makes me invested. I really feel like I'm in this area. And if you do something crazy, like you pop off a shot or something, they scatter.
Yeah, the crowd
reacts. And they really leave.
Yeah.
And a couple of them stay behind, hiding behind things, and they're like, if you walk past, you're like, oh, no. I'm like, okay, now this is cool. So that's the kind of shit I would like to see. Fuck making it look like it's my brother. You know what I mean? I don't care about that. So the other thing I wanted to mention that's not news is that the new Far Cry 3 downloadable content came out, which is, I believe it's standalone, and it's called Blood Dragon. Looks awesome, dude. Nothing but 80s references throughout, and it's got fucking Michael Biehn as the voice. Normally I would not be willing to pay. It's $15. Mm-hmm. I'm not normally willing to pay that for just a DLC that's like, apparently you can beat it in like 3 to 4 hours. It's really not enough, but apparently there's enough exterior stuff to it that, additional content.
You can drag it out.
Yeah, you could really spend time doing everything, and just to hear him mouthing off these crazy 80s lines, I'm seriously considering it.
Are you going to do it?
I don't know. I just picked up Tomb Raider because it was on sale this weekend, which I recommend to anyone out there that does not have a sense, was it an inner ear problem? If you do not possess the fluid in your inner ear, so you can never be, so the world spins constantly to you, or you don't have eyes, this game is great. Because they implemented a shaky cam on this fucking thing all the time. Everywhere you go, it's like there's some idiot cameraman following you for a reality show that doesn't quite understand how to traverse a jungle. And it's just constantly this skipping, shaking. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I get that it's supposed to be wild and crazy out here, but when I'm playing the game, lock in. Okay? Stop bouncing. I don't need that. It's annoying. It makes it difficult to focus on things. I mean, shit. Even when she stands still, it occasionally still will move. I'm fine with it in cutscenes. You want to give energy to the cutscene?
Yeah.
I'm providing the energy. I'm running. I have her doing shit. But even beyond that, what I can't stand about this game is she honestly should be dead. Now, I get that it's a game and that in other games they do this kind of shit to their heroes too. Problem is, they're making it a part of this gameplay of how she's overcoming obstacles. It's part of the narrative that she's getting so beat the fuck up and still overcoming and still going. And like they're also incorporating her wounds. I'm at a point in the story where her wounds were so bad that she can't jump or do anything, and she's kind of like struggling along. Okay? Which would make sense, except the very first thing that happens to her, just before you get control of her, is she gets pierced with rebar. And has to rip it out of herself. Okay? So she now has a 1/4-inch hole going through her torso.
Okay, that's perfect.
And this game is taking place over the course of like 3 days or something. Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you want her to be suffering from wounds at some point in the narrative, you don't give her something that could be potentially fatal. And also, she ain't cleaning up. She's in a fucking jungle.
Yeah, infection.
It's
dead.
over.
Yeah.
So we reached a point now where, here's the other thing. She can't move. She's so awful. Oh my god, I can't jump and I must crawl through things. And then she gets to this medical pack. That's what you're aiming for. The whole purpose of this level is to get some first aid. And she gets there. There is no first aid. It's out. So what does she do? I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. Sorry, folks. I'm about to tell you something. It doesn't really matter. So she cauterizes it with an arrowhead and a lighter. Apparently she needed to find a lighter in order to do it, even though not but an hour earlier you discovered a way to make a torch, and you can now constantly light a torch on your own. That wasn't sufficient. The torch, you needed to find a fucking lighter in order to do this. Because, you didn't that other fire you produced wasn't really hot.
Yeah.
So she heats up the arrowhead and cauterizes this wound. That's not healed. But suddenly she's now miraculously able to do everything she could do before as though she's perfectly well.
That's
I'm like,
nice.
Seriously? Just why are you bothering? Just make it a fucking health pack with a big red cross on it and just let us get on with this, because clearly your attempt at realism is awful and pathetic. And to take this one step further, she is completely without supplies when this game starts. She finds a leather satchel with supplies in it. Radio, matches, all the shit.
Wow.
It's a downpour. Like, she finds a crash site. It's a storm. It's a tropical storm happening. So what she does is she doesn't open up the satchel and root around inside it, because then we wouldn't know, apparently. She empties the satchel, then takes all of those various items and sticks them in her pockets or on her belt. There's a bag right there.
In the bag.
Not only in the bag, it's leather. So it's going to resist the water that's currently streaming everywhere. But no, we're going to pull the matches out and stick them in our soaking wet jeans and then go try and start. And here's the best part. When you go to light the fire, it turns out in this giant matchbox, it's one of those big ones that slide out. There's one fucking match.
Oh.
Didn't occur to her at all to, like, maybe shake it. Like, there's only one? Maybe.
Let's check.
Since I only have one fucking match, maybe I should put this inside the waterproof liner. Okay? So she ditches the satchel. Why? Makes no sense. Unless you realize they want you to stare at her ass this whole game. They need her to be a sexual object, so they take away something that might obscure her. Oh. Seriously, that's all it is. Because I said this. Listen, women are the only gender in our society that it is acceptable for them to actually carry shit with them. They have the permission. Okay, guys aren't allowed to do that. We can't carry a satchel. We get made fun of. Right. Anything we do to carry something, women are allowed to do that, which means she is part of modern society. She has at some point carried a purse or a bag of some kind. So that is something that would be in a female's mind, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. That, hey, what is the easiest way to transport items?
Yeah, a lot of things.
You know? And particularly in a life and death situation like this, like even if I was a dude, I'm okay carrying a purse.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't care what it looks like. Oh, you mean this thing might make sure I live through this? Yeah, okay, sure. Well, you know what? I can accessorize today. So that was just so awful. Like right out the gate. Right, and then, okay, so my final bitch about this whole thing, I'm working backwards, I realize, is before you even get to the illusionary satchel portion, you go through an opening sequence that you do some puzzles and whatnot, and it was actually really cool. I'm like, okay, I'm into this, I got to solve some things, and you keep doing it, and until you figure it out, you can't progress. Standard Tomb Raider fare.
Right.
Then, at 2 points, it switches to a QuickTime event. And in the first one, you just have to waggle the left stick, which, first of all, I hate any kind of QuickTime event that demands that you pound your controller in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Do not make me wear out my controller any faster than I have to. Also, the whole... all this reminds me of is that awful track and field power pad shit. You know what I mean? It's like, just pound this thing and this thing happens. Just keep going. Why? Just let me hit a button.
Yeah.
Okay? So then, you get past that one, no big deal. Then you do the puzzles. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. Then you get to another QuickTime event where after you do the waggling, you then have to hit a button. But you have to hit a button at a specific time. And this mechanic has never been introduced. You've never been shown this. You have no idea. It kind of makes sense. The circle is getting smaller. There's like a circle on the screen, and then there's a larger circle that's getting smaller. And you're like, oh, okay. So when it crosses that line. So now the question is, do I hit the button when the big circle is touching the smaller circle? Okay, well, I tried that. Fail. I die. So now in the middle of this, I've died in the middle of a pre-rendered cutscene. They've introduced a QuickTime event that killed me. So now I have to watch that sequence again.
Over.
So,
that's annoying.
And here we go. And so the waggle's coming. I'm like, all right, waggle, waggle, waggle. Circle's getting smaller. And now I let it cross over the smaller circle. And now a light comes up, and it's a button press. Unfortunately, I'm playing this on PS3. Mm-hmm. I almost never play PS3. The indicator for the button is a green triangle. Had no idea what button that was.
Look down at your controller.
No clue. I saw green, and so I immediately stabbed the bottom button, because green on the 360 is the bottom button, which is the X on the PlayStation. So I hit that, and I died. So I'm like, start all over again. So before I got to that point, I looked down. I'm like, okay, it's the top button. So we're going in, and now I'm in position. But the whole time I'm afraid that it's going to switch buttons. You know how they do that? Like, oh, the next time through it'll be a different button. Right. So like I'm all worried about that. So now I've looked at them. I'm like, okay, square, circle, triangle, X. Okay, I know we're there. Okay, it's coming. Waggle, 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 waggle. Oh, it's still the green one. And then I'm like, but the circle's still getting smaller while that green button. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh god, I have to wait until that circle actually encompasses the button, because that's what happens in every other game.
Right.
You wait to hit the drum beat on Rock Band to when the thing crosses that little line. So I'm like, oh shit, I was supposed to wait until it got inside that. I'm like, oh, wrong. Died again.
45 minutes
So
later.
now we're back up. Waggle, 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 waggle. And now I'm like, okay, fuck it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm going to do it. As soon as it crosses over the line, but before it gets close enough to the button, I'll hit the button. Oh, hey, that was the answer. I'm not a moron. I swear to God. I'm not a moron. But that was not explained previously. So I died 4 times attempting to understand the mechanic. It seems like it could have been explained a little earlier, just so I have a fighting chance at not having to watch this fucking cut. And I will say, it didn't take the first time either. Once I figured out what you needed to do, I hit the button when I know that I was supposed to, but there was a problem. And honestly, I think it's my controller. My controller's kind of shitty, because it's been beat to hell by games like this.
Right.
And my right stick doesn't actually start doing anything until it's almost to the edge. So I switched controllers. I haven't had a problem since. But there you go. On top of it, your shitty thing means that if there's any delay, anything wrong with my controller, I've also failed. That's too much. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the Breakfast Club. And we're back with the Breakfast Blend. I was clearly going off the rails a little bit about Tomb Raider. We were talking about it, and what you just said, that it sounded awful.
Yeah, sounds terrible to me. Just because of the camera.
Yeah.
The slow-moving scene. I mean, how long did it take you?
I got through that one cutscene. I think it took 4 attempts. Mm-hmm. Admittedly, one of those failures was because I didn't know what fucking button to press. Mm-hmm. But I honestly believe that the other 3 were because it did not tell you. Like, my first inclination was when that larger circle gets right on top of the other circle, that's when I should hit a button. And I was like,
well, yeah, it should pop up in the corner and say, do this when this happens.
But there was no button, so I just stabbed, because there was no indicator. Just hit something, and that was the wrong call. The shaky cam thing, it takes me out of the game, and that's the problem for me. Some people may not have a problem with that. I will say that the game itself, if it had a steady camera, I might forgive the QuickTime event thing, even though it has popped up more than once, and frequently it has caused my death because something's wrong with it. Okay, I'm quite confident. It wants a specificity that is not outlined elsewhere. Mm-hmm. It took way too many trials to figure out when it wanted it, and then there's a window where it's perfectly, like, I've hit it when I thought it would be too early, and it took it. I've hit it when I thought it would be way too late, and it took it. And then I've hit it right in between, and it hasn't taken it. Like, it it seems to hit and miss. And also, it's just not necessary.
Right.
Just play your fucking cutscene, all right? Okay, it's terrifying. Okay? Just do it. Do not make me press play to finish your pre-rendered shit. Mm-hmm. Just go ahead and do it, okay? I have enough to worry about figuring out how to get to the top of this or that or the other to find yet another useless little fucking artifact that adds nothing to the game. And I am only doing it under the gamer's contract, the idea that if I keep collecting these things, I'll be rewarded somehow.
Yeah.
And I'm really starting to believe that that's not true at all. It's given me a tiny little sliver of experience, and I'm like, that's not enough to have me scrounging all over the fucking place. If there's not some special weapon or, a new hidden tomb level or something waiting for me at the end of this trail of meaningless breadcrumbs, I'm going to be really pissed.
No, all you get is 100%.
That's not worth it at all. I hate that shit.
No.
And the game itself is sound. I like the mechanics. It has
the scenery.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Love the location. I love the way they did that. But it's often obscured by just the trying to get from one place to the other. The camera doesn't work as well as I would like, just in general. And the shaky cam thing, you can pause and take a look around, absolutely, and it looks gorgeous. Forget that. It looks fine. What I do think that they did very well is they took the layered progression thing and they almost perfected it here. Mm-hmm. It's like Metroid. You have to get this item in order to be able to do this next thing.
Yeah.
But you can see that thing beforehand, and you can interact with it to a degree, and you know that you're missing something. Mm-hmm. So you're like, okay, and then you just remember, I got to come back because I can't set this thing on fire yet, but right. I'll figure it out.
So you know the objective.
Right. So then they keep giving you abilities, and you can't buy them. They happen as a consequence of the story. Mm-hmm. So you have to progress normally. And then it opens up. Like this one level, it started out like it seemed really big. Well, it turns out that it's got like 2 or 3 times the space vertically. You just couldn't get to it before. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome. And you can be at the top looking at it like, holy shit, I was down there before. And that's really cool. Love that. But it's ruined by my angst and just, this fucking QuickTime thing is terrible. And the voice acting is great. It's got the chick that plays Lara. She's perfect for it. Though I had an exchange yesterday with someone talking about why is it that women in games, when they're exerting themselves, it always sounds pornographic. And I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. Because I was thinking about that. I'm like,
that is true.
She's every time she goes to open something, she's like, and I'm like, okay, really? There was one time when she did the cauterizing thing where she screamed out, and I was like, oh my God, they must have really hit her hand with a hammer or something, because that was phenomenal. She cried out and then did that, like, that choked back sob thing afterwards that I was like, oh my God, she really sounds like she's in pain. That was quality acting. I thought that was great. The guy that you're dealing with, it's like her mentor. I was like, what? I know this guy. Where have I heard it before? And I'm like, I'm going through his list. I look him up on IMDb. I'm going through. I recognize nothing. I'm like, I've never seen this guy, nothing. And then I had skipped past this one credit. Superman versus the Elite. He was the voice of Manchester Black. And the whole time I was watching it, I was like, is he really British? Because that really doesn't sound like he's actually British. Yes, he's really freaking British. He just has this odd, almost like a Scottish tinge to his UK accent, just faintly. But he seems to be playing it up a little bit more in Tomb Raider. Or maybe he was playing it down in Manchester Black. I don't know. As Manchester Black. But they're all great. They're delivering their lines in such a way that you can actually... There is some foreshadowing. Like, once in a while, it's a little too heavy-handed. Like, you knew this guy was going to end up being bad that you see.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be a douche. But other people, it's nuanced. Great voice acting. Great mechanics. I love all the tools that you use and how they evolve, but it's all ruined by the fact that every time I walk around, I want to scream because it's like the Mars rover is, or no, she's got the camera in one of those little red flyers behind her, and it's like attached to her waist by an invisible rope, and she's just
bouncing
dragging it behind her. It's going ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. That is the camera the whole fucking time, and it's asinine. No reason for them to do that, and I'm honestly wondering if it's something wrong with, because I got a digital copy. I've never done that before. Downloaded one. And every time the game comes up, it does this weird... Not every time, but the past couple times. It does this weird skipping, glitching thing that doesn't really seem like it's part of the design. And it may be possible, though that seems ridiculous to me, that the one glitch would be that the camera is unsteady.
Right.
But if that's the case, I can't imagine how that is the case. But I'm willing to let them tell me that that is the case, and everyone else in the world does not have this asinine problem that I do. Or it's something that they experimented with, and it got left over, and the digital copy is the only one that have it. I don't know. I would love to know that there is an update out there that will eliminate this, because it doesn't help. It adds nothing to the story, to the gameplay, nothing. Please stop it. Take it out. I sent a tweet to Crystal Dynamics directly asking them why they wanted me to play Blair Witch Project. I'm like, seriously, stop. Anyway, I'm done bitching. Let's move on to the PSN.
PSN update yesterday. Today yesterday or last night. I don't know when. I wasn't able to get on it last night.
This week.
Yeah, this week. The free game is Zombie Tycoon 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that look interesting?
No, not really. It's a mini.
One of those? Yeah, I don't have any interest in those ones.
I'll give it a shot, because it's free. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot and talk about it next week. Or Friday.
Did you try Blazing Angels?
No.
See? You're not gonna try Zombie.
On PlayStation Plus for $19.59 is PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale.
Oh, the Smash Brothers of Sony.
Yes.
Not a game I would ever play.
BioShock, $9.79. BioShock 2, also $9.79 on the Plus, PlayStation Plus. All kinds of Metal Gear content.
Yeah.
Ranging from $20 for the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, that's $20, down to $4.89.
I would almost do that to get all those games together in HD. But again, it's the digital copy thing.
Yeah.
Because when I downloaded that goddamn Tomb Raider, it took 4 hours. And not just for the download. The download didn't take quite that long. But like I shut down everything else in my house.
Yeah,
I
you can't do anything else.
I locked out I changed the passwords on everything so that no one in the house could access the internet. They don't know this. I told them that there was a problem with the internet. It was down.
Brilliant.
It's like, yeah, we're having a problem. I don't know. And it still only got it down to a 3-hour download for this almost 10 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
And then after it's downloaded, you have to install it. That took another 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to install this fucking game. Then I have to log on. Oh, guess what? There's an update.
Yeah. Right
and then
away.
I gotta wait for that, and then I have to wait for that to install. And then so 5 hours later, I'm actually able to play this fucking game. And once I get in, I see, hey, there's a little selection on the menu screen for trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was forced to download 4 or 5 video trailers. Let me tell you, I render enough video for this fucking thing that I know that shit, even heavily compressed, was taking up way too much space. I was forced to download this shit.
Yeah.
And I can't get rid of it. It's just sitting there. It's part of the game. It's stuck. It's part of it.
That's ridiculous.
Like, when it is easier and significantly faster, I could have gone to the store, bought this game, brought it back, and installed it, and been playing it for 4 hours in the time that took. So fuck Microsoft and they're always on this digital content thing. That shit is for the birds. And I don't have a shitty connection. I don't have a great connection, but I don't have a shitty one either. I'm not on fucking dial-up or DSL.
Right.
I have like the middle tier cable, and it wasn't that. Like, it was the server, because I turned off when I first saw that it was 5 to 6 hours to download. I shut it down, and then I got onto my 360. And I went to download a demo just to test it. Fucking lightning fast. There was a 1 gig demo.
Yeah.
That shit, it was almost done. I'm like, okay,
Really?
it's not my connection.
Yeah.
It's their fucking server. So that was obnoxious. So I'm not a fan of digital content at this point. And much as I love that there was a deal. And yeah, okay, it happened and it was then. And now it's the future. And I can play it. You know, and it was like 4 hours of my life.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's not like you can go on there and play another game while that's downloading.
exactly, you can't do anything.
You can't do anything.
So I couldn't get online to do anything because then it would have fucked up the stream. It would have taken even longer.
8 hours.
So yeah, that was. Anyway, so moving right back into your PSN. Please continue.
Sly Cooper content.
Games.
Thieves in Time, $20, $19.59.
I like the Sly Cooper series.
So do I, actually. Honor Among Thieves is only $4.89. I don't know how old is that.
I'm not sure on the age of that. It's not. Was that that was the most recent one? That was Honor Among Thieves. Shoot, was that the third one? Fuck, I don't even know, man.
Yeah, Sly 3.
Okay.
Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah, I mean that's PS2, so
normal price $10 for a PS2 game.
I still think it's. I like the games. I have them all already.
Yeah.
The first 3. I don't have the newer ones. But no, not really worth it. Especially with there's a compilation disc that has all of them that you can get for like $20. So
why bother with that?
Yeah, don't buy them one at a time. Buy them together. Like that BioShock thing. There's a disc that has both of them for $20.
Yeah.
So if you're on Plus, it's okay. It's still it's comparable. But the regular price, fuck that. Go out and buy the physical copy.
Yeah.
Which you can probably pick up used at GameStop for $5.
Little Big Planet 1 for $14.69. Little Big Planet 2 free.
The better of the two, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just asinine. Hey, the better, more recent one. Hey, you can just have it, but we're gonna charge you $15,
right,
for our test run, basically.
I have both now, and the second one is much better.
Yeah, I only have the second one. And I played it once. So.
Devil May Cry.
Fuck that series.
HD Collection.
I hate that game. I hate them. That combo-centric shit.
I've never played it. I don't know.
You're not missing anything.
It's $14.69 on the PS Plus.
Okay.
$30 normal price.
Wow, that's a good deal though. Like that would almost make if I was into that shit at all, that would be worth it. $15 for all of them? Hell yeah.
We also have Infamous, $14.69 for the first one, free for the second.
Wow. You can pick up the first one, though.
I
even knew you
I
could
got
pick
it
up
for
like
free
$10.
when we had the outage.
The outage, yeah. I bought the first one, and it was totally worth it. If you haven't had them, I mean, you can get the first one cheaper than that elsewhere. But the second one for free. I still haven't downloaded the second one for free because I'm afraid that it will glitch again in the same place.
Yeah. I made it through there, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Shantytown? Is that where you kept freezing up? Yeah, I made it through.
Oh, well, then I should probably download it.
Give it a shot.
Fuck.
Twisted Metal.
Black or the more recent one?
Let's see.
It's more recent one, I think.
Black is $4.89 on the plus, $10 on the normal price. Twisted Metal 2, $2.79.
No shit, dude. That one.
That's on plus.
I loved the first two. Man, that is worth it if you can find some friends to get back in on that.
$6 normal price.
Dude, that was so much fun. I tried Black when it came out. Like, I have it, but I don't know. It was Black. I mean, it really, like, it was so fucking dark, and like even every single level was just like, it felt like the nothing from Neverending Story was like rolling in over everything in this fucking game. It was unreal. Every single level was depressing as shit. Even like the level with that had a fair with a Ferris wheel and shit, which you could knock off the thing and it would roll down the street. Even that was all sad and ugly, which was weird because the first game had a suburbia level that was like, it was fucking like Hello Kitty. It was so bright, and like you're literally running around in suburbia and big blue sky and nice green lawns and everything, and you're just tearing through it. That was awesome. Love that. Second game was a little dark, but it had some great sunny levels as well. That game, I wouldn't play it just because it was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna have to hurt myself after this. Like I need to cut myself to make it better. Like after playing that game, it was so bad.
That was Black?
Yeah.
So it's lived up to the name?
Yeah. I mean, it looked great, but go back and buy the first ones and play those. That'd be awesome. Not you. You don't need to. I have them. You can borrow them.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I might just do that. Ratchet and Clank.
Seriously?
Yeah. All for One is still free right now.
No idea which part of the series that is, but sure.
I played it. It was fun for, 15 minutes or so. And then that was
It's just a giant collect fest with some crazy weapons. The crazy weapons can be interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, really, that's
just
all it is.
Just run around smashing boxes.
Yeah, that's all you do is you smash shit to collect shit so that you can buy more shit to smash shit with.
That's all I got.
All right. You know what I did notice when I was on getting the Tomb Raider? I don't know if it's still true because I got Tomb Raider over the weekend, but the Demon Souls was free on Plus. You need to do that.
Yeah.
Because that game is fucking brutal.
Really?
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's meant to be. But it's fun. Because if you're smart and you're careful, I think I've talked to you.
I'm not smart or careful. So I'm not sure how this game is going to go for me.
Yeah, you'd hate it.
I'll give it a shot.
It's meant to punish you. It's designed for you to die over and over. And we've talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but we definitely have talked about it. But the deaths are inevitable, but you can learn from them, and they can be... The only times that they really suck is at the boss level, because if you get back to the boss level and collect your souls... So what you got to do is basically get right up to the boss, and then leave the level, save all your little collectible items, use them, then come back in, go straight up to the boss, because usually once you've found a way to the boss, it's pretty easy to get back to him, and then keep taking them on. And there was the first boss that I fought that was a major issue. There was like one or two before that, but the big one was this giant, like 12-story tall knight in armor, and he just kills you. I died all the fucking time. Well, what it turns out is you have to stab him in the foot, in the heel. So then there's a way to knock him down, and eventually I figured it out. And it was one of the first times in my life that I didn't feel like all of those efforts were wasted. Like normally in a game they feel wasted.
Yeah.
For some reason in Demon Souls it doesn't feel wasted. And when I killed that thing, holy shit, man, it was awesome. And
felt good.
It did. And then at that point you have enough power that you can do things. And, even if you go into a level and you're outmatched, you know it. Like, you can tell immediately, and then you just fucking bug out.
Yeah.
And you go to another place. So as long as you're careful, you don't just run in like, I'm going to kill all you motherfuckers. Like, if you just creep and check, you'll make it, and you'll know immediately that that the shit outclasses you, and then you just back off and go to another place and do it, if you're careful. And you can be. But, man, you want to talk about dark? Man, that whole thing is just... The whole place has just been ravaged by something, and it is depressing as hell. But it looked
just
good.
what I need.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
I'll give it a shot.
It's fun. It was fun, and the sequel is cheap as hell now. You can pick it up for $20 or less, and I don't know how that one is yet. I have it downstairs. I've yet to play it.
Still in the plastic.
Yeah, Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And now there's an expansion for it that I haven't tried. Which, you know, knowing me, it'll drop in price, and I'll buy it, and it'll just sit there.
Yeah.
You know? Because I'm sick. All right, well, we got to take off. This episode went way over budget. So, thank you for tuning in, both of you, to The Breakfast Blend. And I'm Mac.
I'm Morgan.
And we will catch you Friday. Oh, God. The coffee. I crushed a whole pot yesterday. Didn't even realize it.
Really?
Clearly, I don't understand my own addiction.